Moroney will advance. So we've got our 4 finalists. I'll get back to that thought in one moment. Regina Moroney is in from St. John's, Kristin Foellmer from Brandeis, and then the 2 Penn State fencers who finished 1-2 last year, respectively, Olga Kalinovskaya and also Olga Chernyak. So those are the 4. Now, what is the gray area? You said you can turn. She turned. Moroney would turn. How far can you turn without getting the yellow card?
It's really a judgment call, John. It depends on when the fencer hits. There is a warning that is given. If a fencer turns their body completely around, showing their neck to their opponent, that's considered dangerous. We do give a yellow card for the first infraction. If a fencer is to repeat that same turning, they will receive a red card, which is a penalty touch. In this case, Regina is really walking a fine line, but the director did a tremendous job there in deciphering what was legal and what was illegal, and none of those turns were actually illegal. They were right on the borderline, but Mr. Stopowski did a tremendous job in discerning those.
4 good fencers left now. 4 beautiful women, too, I might add. So they're going to fence it off right in front of us. So it'll be Olga Chernyak versus Regina Moroney. In the handicap, that I have to give the edge to Olga. And then on the other bout, well, you've got the defending champion, Olga Kalinovskaya, taking on Brandeis' own Kristin Foellmer. So if Kristin really, this is going to be a David and Goliath matchup.
Well, you know, with a home crowd, anything could happen. Unfortunately, I must admit that Kalinovskaya is definitely the favorite here. Her experience, her technique, her ability Kristin should be no match for her. But strange things do happen, John, and we certainly would hope that Kristin will be able to upset her if possible.
Yeah, if you can look at Olga Kalinovskaya, she's just cold as ice right now, huh? Ice in her veins. Nothing's bothering her. Like when you were interviewing her yesterday, she was saying, folks, if you're wondering why I'm slurring my words, I bit my tongue and it's swollen. Hot pizza, that type of deal. But what I'm trying to say Olga Kalinovskaya after you've bitten your tongue and had it swollen. But anyway, she's so cool. She knows she's going to win. It's just a matter of by how many. And you got to like that attitude.
That's right. And different competitors have different attitudes. And part of being a good competitor is being cool, calm, composed, and confident, and Kalinovskaya definitely is all of those things.
Yeah, and not eating hot pizza, letting it cool down before you chew off your tongue.
Well, John, I've really enjoyed being with you here today. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to take off. I wish all of the competitors best of luck, and to all of our viewers, hang in there, and we'll see you next time.
Absolutely, and good luck in Budapest, huh? I don't have to tell you, don't drink the water. All right. Terrence Gargiulo, everybody, did a fantastic job here in our fencing coverage. So we're down to the final 4, Pete. Pete, who do you like?
I don't know. The 2 Olgas have been the tag team to beat this week. I have to think that it's perhaps either one of those. I think I see 2 distinct styles, and I tend to favor the agility and speed style of Olga Kalinovskaya.
So Andrew Shaw will be the director for the Chernyak Moroney. And Kristin Foellmer versus Kalinovskaya, with Jacobson as the referee. So, the final 4. The winners will fence each other for the gold medal. The losers will fence each other for the bronze medal. Let's get a look at Regina Moroney from St. John's. She's nervously awaiting her opponent. She wants to get this thing over with. Olga Chernyak on the other hand, I don't see her right now. She usually ducks away and hides out before her matches and just makes her appearance at the last second. Of course, Olga Kalinovskaya is going to be facing Kristin Foellmer. It's going to be grueling, a grueling day when you get to this point. And now you say, geez, I gotta get it all together one more time.
Well, I definitely seen Kristin fence very well this weekend. She's put out a lot of effort, put in a lot of hours, a lot of fencing hours, and a lot of training this past year. I also happen to be on the Brandeis team, and I see endless hours going into her perfection of style. I definitely think that she's the only contingent here from Brandeis, but I think that she's the favorite as well.
Yep. So she's going to be taking on Olga Kalinovskaya to our right, and Olga Chernyak will take on Regina Moroney from St. John's. Ms. Jacobson, the official for this match. You can see her checking the foil of Olga Kalinovskaya. Once again, we'd like to thank all the people here at Brandeis University for making this possible. You're going to need an oral surgeon. Olga Kalinovskaya, the defending champion from last year, on your left, went undefeated. The only loss that Olga Chernyak suffered was to the hands of her teammate. She is on the left. Brandeis' Kristin Foellmer, who has had a sparkling evening in this tournament. On your right, we're underway. The winners here go to the gold medal round. Both opponents trying to tantalize each other, trying to provoke the other into making a move that fencer does not want to make, therefore leaving them open. Kalinovskaya lunges right in, gets the point. She's, right now, could be the best women's fencer in the world. In fact, we're going to say she is. 1-0. Olga has the height advantage over Kristin. Now, Kristin, that's where she's got what she's got to do, Pete. She's got to be the aggressor. That's where she's won her bouts. When she was on her heels against Olga Chernyak in the later stages, that's where she lost it.
I'll have to agree. If, as you saw in the very first point, when she hesitates, when she waits, the wolf will come to her door. So I think that she's got to be on the offensive, and that's the way she's been playing and winning the whole day.
I like that. The wolf will come to her door. You were talking about being a fencer yourself. What were you saying? You Jones in defense?
When you look out at all these just superlative fencers, and to sit behind a camera here, you just wish you could be down on the strip fencing.
It is a 1-1 match. Olga Kalinovskaya on your left. On your right is Brandeis' own Kristin Foellmer. Kristin checking the arc, the warp on her foil, the parabola, as it may be. Lunges forward, misses. Nice parry by Olga Kalinovskaya. Just feinting now. Trying to provoke an action. A nice touch there by Olga. It's a 2-1 match now. The Chernyak-Moroney match is just about ready to get underway, but we'll stay right here. The fencers to the center of the strip. Now Olga being backed up. Kristin lunges forward. Olga off the side of the mat. Invalid touch. This is the first round, 3-minute round. Now Kristin lunges forward, invalid touch by Olga. The Chernyak-Moroney bout is underway. This is the women's individual foil competition. We're at the Final Four now. This is just like the Final Four in the NCAAs in basketball. A touch by Olga Kalinovskaya, 3-1. 3-1 the score. Penn State coach urging on the Penn State fencers to make some noise. And they are. And touch is awarded to Olga. It's a 4-1 match. The director, Jacobson, asks the fencers to be on guard. Another touch by Olga, 5-1. I tell you, she can go out with a teacher's pointer and win this thing. That's how good she is. Kristin has nothing to be ashamed of, though. Kristin has done an admirable job, a yeoman's job, in getting this far to the Final Four. 5-1 the score here. And a nice touch there by Kristin Foellmer. No, she parried Olga away. Olga shook her head and knew that she had made the mistake. She was goaded into doing that. And then the riposte by Kristin Foellmer. It's a 5-2 fencing match now. Olga, born in Leningrad, St. Petersburg, the former Soviet Socialist Republic, lunges forward, invalid hit. Looks to see that last touch by Kristin really affected Olga. She's become more aggressive and opened herself up a little more. Now Kristin, in her unorthodox trademark style, lunging forward. The touch easily goes to Olga Kalinovskaya. It's 6-2. Why don't we pan to the left and check out the Olga Chernyak bout. She's taking on the lovely Regina Moroney from St. John's. It's 3-0 Olga. Both Olgas probably will face each other as they did last year in the finals. Olga Chernyak with a 4-0 lead now. 4 touches to none. First one to 15. 3 3-minute rounds with a 1-minute overtime and then a sudden death if you don't get the 15 touches. The 7-2 score. And the other Olga match, Olga versus Brandeis' Kristin Foellmer. It's 5-0 here. Olga Chernyak dominating this match. 6-0 now. Now why don't we pan back to strip number 1, where Olga Kalinovskaya is facing Kristin Foellmer from Brandeis. Kalinovskaya has a 6-touch lead, 8-2. Now make that 7 touches, 9-2. Once again, the fencer on the left, if the fencer on the left makes a correct touch, a valid hit, a red light will go off. If the fencer on the right makes a valid touch, the green light will go off. That is the end of the first round. What the score? Olga Kalinovskaya, 9. Kristin Foellmer, 2. And if you see both lights go off at the same time, both red and green, that's a double touch. And it's up to the director as to whether both fences will be awarded a touch, or if one will be awarded a touch, or if none will. If you see the 2 white lights go on, or 1 white light go on, that means it's an invalid touch. Chernyak now dominating this match over Regina Moroney from St. John's. It's an 8-0 match. It seems that Olga's just taunting Regina. They're just sticking the foil out there. Regina looks to be tiring. Fatigue is definitely a factor in fencing. Now she leans forward, but again, an excellent riposte by Olga Chernyak. 9-0. Looks like an Olga finals, folks. Panning back to strip number 2, we've got Olga Kalinovskaya with a 9-2 lead in the second round. Make that 10-2 over Brandeis' Kristin Foellmer. 10-2. Kalinovskaya on the left from Penn State, defending national champion, has an 11-2 lead now. Yeah, her fencing matches don't take that long. Quickly does away with her opponents, runs them right through. And she is giving Kristin a good going over here. Here's a touch. It's awarded to Kristin. There you go, Kristin, 11-3. One of David's rocks hit Goliath. There's another touch by Olga Kalinovskaya. She's great, isn't she, Peter? Something to watch.
An unbelievable touch behind the back. Very, very difficult to do, and almost more chance than skill. Some people have perfected it, and I would venture to say that in this case it is maybe even more skill than chance.
It's 12-3. There's the Olga removing her headgear. With a commanding lead, she's moments away from facing her teammate. There's a touch. It's awarded to Brandeis' Kristin Foellmer. She is delighted by that. It's 12-4. This is the second round. It's the end of the first round in the Moroney and Chernyak match. It's 9-0 Chernyak. Two invalid touches. Still 12-4. The director is Jacobson. Now Foellmer leans forward, leaves herself vulnerable to Kalinovskaya. You can't do that with a champion. She picks her apart. Easily jabbed her. 13-4. Invalid hit. Kristin now the aggressor. Excellent riposte there by Kalinovskaya. One of the best in the world, folks. 14-4. Double invalid touch. Yes, Kristin scores 14-5. Olga with an almost insurmountable lead, though. Olga leans in, touches Kristin. It's over. Olga Kalinovskaya goes to the gold medal round. Kristin Foellmer still has an outside shot at a bronze medal. She's dejected, but hey, Kristin, you got here, honey. Just to the final four. And you just lost to the best in the world. Nothing to hang your head about. Well, as we pan back to the other match still going on, as everybody looks over, this one here is a shutout. Olga Chernyak is throwing a shutout here, 10-0. Here's another one where NATO might have to intervene, have a no-fly zone. She's going to town on Regina Moroney from St. John's. Oh, there's no shutout here, Jack. Regina gets a point. Her teammates love it. Ten to 1, Olga Chernyak on your right, Regina Moroney on your left. No touches. Andrew Shaw, the director. Regina Moroney, the lefty. As is Olga Chernyak. You don't see that, Pete, do you? Two lefties, huh?
It's a very strange bout. It almost looks as if you're watching two righties because the hands are on opposite sides, and it's very rare that you see two lefties fencing one another, and it actually even messes them up because most lefties are used to fencing righties. When they have to fence against one another, it does throw off their strategy somewhat.
Are there any fencers that say, geez, okay, I'm going to fence you, you're a lefty, I'll fence you lefty, and then the next guy up or the next woman up, I see you're a righty, I'll fence you righty. Are there any ambidextrous?
I've only known one ambidextrous foil fencer, male foil fencer, who had one blade of each with each different grip and tang bend, and he did fairly well. But I think it's a safe bet to stick to one hand or the other.
10-1, Olga Chernyak dominating. She will go to the gold medal round versus her teammate Olga Kalinovskaya. The two faced off last year. That Chernyak, three-time All-American. Last year, Olga was 17-1. (11-2) the score here. Chernyak by 9 touches. We'll have to see if the weapons are working properly. 11-2, Olga Chernyak on your right, facing Regina Moroney from St. John's on your left. That is the end of the round. So we completed 2 rounds in this women's individual foil semifinal match. The score is 11-2, Olga Chernyak. As you can see, she's cold as ice. She is resting, listening to her coach. Regina Moroney speaks with her coach as well. The strong Penn State fencing team. Now, did everybody on this Penn State fencing team fence, or are there some alternates as well?
There certainly are alternates. As with every team, there are usually 2 and sometimes even more, 2 and 3 strings. There'll be a first string of fencers consisting of 3 male épée, 3 male foil, 3 male sabre, and 3 or 4 female foil fencers, and then they usually have an identical second string team.
So, this is the third and most likely the final round. Chernyak on your right. Seems that Regina Moroney is somewhat flabbergasted, frustrated by Olga Chernyak. Both fencers posturing. Now Regina with a nice lunge. Olga looked down. She almost got knocked off that last meter. Yeah, these strips have taken a beating throughout the past 5 days. Touches awarded to Olga. So Chernyak has a 12-2 lead. Regina trying to egg on Olga into making a wrong move. Because fencing is invading the other's territory and compromising the other's position, is it not?
It certainly is. It's definitely a territorial battle, and you definitely want to stay as much as you can either in the other person's territory or at least in the middle of the strip.
It's a 12-2 match here. The winner will go on to face Olga Kalinovskaya from Penn State, who patiently waits just down below us. So the touch is awarded to Regina, 12-3. Hear the crowd yell, "Come on, Reg." She's trying to size up Olga Chernyak. Right now, Olga is the prey and Moroney the predator. The touch, though, is awarded to Olga. It is 13-3. I guess one of the keys in fencing, Pete, is knowing when to attack and knowing when to defend.
It certainly is, and even a defensive maneuver can be used to suck in an opponent and then turn around into an attack. It's a very double-edged sword, pardon the pun, and the game definitely depends mostly, more so than even swordplay, on distance.
Yep, it's targeting your opponent as well, lining your opponent up in the crosshairs, so to speak, and then when to pull the trigger or when to lunge forward and lurch towards your opponent. Chernyak now one touch away from going into the gold medal round. There it is. Olga Chernyak wins over St. John's Regina Moroney by a score of 15 touches to 3 touches. Olga Chernyak will once again face her teammate Olga Kalinovskaya. For the final, she just exchanges a glance towards Olga, and Olga looks down. The other one, Kalinovskaya. I'm sure they're putting on their game faces. I know that these two young ladies, they're very much rivals. I know the professional rivals as far as their sport goes. There's a lot of respect for one another, but they do want to see the other one take the fall. So Chernyak, who wants to try to regain her title from 92, is going to try to take it away from Kalinovskaya from 93. We are just moments away from two spectacular matches. One will be the gold medal match, and one will be the Brandeis fighter, Kristin Foellmer, will attempt to get a bronze medal as she will duel against Regina Moroney. All of that is coming your way right after this. We'll be right back. So we're moments away from the bronze medal match. It'll be Regina Moroney from St. John's versus Brandeis' own Kristin Foellmer. Pete, it's tough now, right? Not only staying focused. Well, you explain what you were just telling me.
Well, right now, Kristin has to stay sharp. Not only does she have to stay physically warm, she put on her suit to keep body temperature.
That's her mom there.
Her mom is consoling her, and she really has to stay more than physically warm, mentally hot, because right now she's at a place and fencing such a caliber of people that she has to pick up every subtlety. Everything that's going on in the other fencer's mind, she has to tune into in order to get those touches. It's very difficult, even just starting out fresh at 9 o'clock in the morning. You've just had breakfast. You're just, ready to go out and do it. Now, hours later, days later, she's been in the team competition. Now she's at the individual competition. It's just tough to stay hot because you have to watch everything, because she knows in her own mind she's watching everything that she's doing. Her opponent will be no less frugal.
Yep. So Kristin Foellmer moments away from her bronze medal bid.
Now fencing on strip number 2, the bronze medal match between Moroney and Foellmer with Jacobson referee.
Ms. Jacobson will be the director.
Strip number 1, the gold medal match between Chernyak and Kalinovskaya with Shaw referee.
So Andrew Shaw will referee the gold medal match. So I guess they're going to run these, Pete, simultaneously. We'll bounce back and forth. Olga Kalinovskaya versus Olga Chernyak for the gold medal, both fencers from Penn State. There you see Chernyak prepping. On the other strip, the bronze medal matchup. It'll be Moroney and Foellmer. Special thanks to the governing body that is the NCAA. Thank you very, very much. Folks, it may be the last bastion of integrity when you hear all these violations. Had there not been an organization like the NCAA to police these profiteers, then collegiate athletics would be in a shambles and would be financially a mess. So special thanks to the NCAA. As I said, the last bastion of integrity, it seems, as far as amateur competition. Without the NCAA, you wouldn't have any of these great college sports. In fact, without the NCAA, I would hazard to guess that half the institutions within America would not be standing. How's that? Because sports brings in tuition money, folks. That's the bottom line. If you are a potential college student or you're looking to transfer, why don't you call Brandeis University and ask for some information about this fine, fine institution. Only about under 4,000 enrollment, get a lot of space, not overcrowded classrooms. Truly, it's a fine facility, a fine institution, and a really pleasant place to live, as Waltham asks. What